Hi, Pisces. Last, but you are not least, my moon is in Pisces. So this is why I started doing this, because I like to work with the energy of the moon. So you're definitely not least in my book. So I decided to change the format up a little bit and go ahead and give every sign individual reading, because doing it by grouping it by the elements, I just felt like wasn't really good information the way I'd like to do it. So I hope you enjoy this. I'd love to get your input on that. So be sure and leave me a comment. I also want to let you know that I'm going to do a live chat on Friday, November 23rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so if you will comment below any personal question that you want to ask, like for your little mini personal reading, I'm going to go through and I'm going to answer all the written questions first. And then I will go back through and answer the questions in the chat, as long as my voice holds up. Because if you notice, it's starting to lose it a little. I've been doing, your number 12. So I'm just really excited to do this. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun and be a little way to chill out after all the Thanksgiving and then the Black Friday rush and everything. So just kind of a little chill, relaxing afternoon of questions. So I thought what I would do is kind of go through where the planets are right now and how will they affect you and what's kind of happening there. And just, with my basic, very rudimentary skills in astrology. So Uranus is currently in Aries. It was in Taurus for a little while this year, and then it's backed up. It's in retrograde back into Aries. So what does that mean? Well, when a planet goes into retrograde, it's going over the ground again. So now it's integrating all the things that it did. It's renewing, recommitting, editing. So that's what's happening. Things that started happening as a result of the moon, Uranus in Aries, which is chaos and changes and stuff like that. That stuff is now being drilled down in and made permanent. So were they good? Were they bad? That depends. So where is Aries in your chart? Well, it's in your second house of finances. So that's something to look at. Like, what kind of financial changes occurred over like the last 7 years, and what were the lessons that you were supposed to learn? And did you learn the lessons? And if you didn't, here's your chance to review that stuff. And so that's something to pay attention to. Then you have Uranus is going to move back into Taurus pretty soon, and that's in the second house of finance. So it's really like a 14-year trip for Pisces about reviewing those finances. Something to keep in mind, okay? All right. That's heavy stuff. I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, wow. And for me, with it being in my moon, it's about my emotional connection to it, but also the way my chart sets up. It's in my Pisces is my second house of finances. So there's like all kinds of stuff happening there. All right. So Sun is in Scorpio, but it's going to move into Sagittarius coming up really quick on Thursday. And then at the same time, you've got Jupiter's in Sagittarius. It just got there on the November 9th. And that's about expansion and growth. And it really likes being in Sagittarius. That's its home sign. So the Jupiter is really happy and it likes to expand things. But here's the thing. It also can expand your waistline. So everybody needs to pay attention. We're going into the holiday season. So start your diet and exercise program now. And instead of gaining that 7 pounds that most of us Americans do over the holiday season, maybe you can keep it at like 2. Then you'll be winning. So then Mercury's in retrograde, and Mercury in retrograde is going back over stuff too, right? Things that happened. And it's in Sagittarius. So fire signs are going to be more dramatically affected by this. They just are. So what you want to do is you're going to want to watch out for travel delays and communication delays, and, watch what you say. You can't necessarily take it back, and people will come back into your life. Exes will come back, people you haven't seen in a long time, but it's a really good chance to, again, all those words, re-edit, recommit, review, integrate the lessons. So when you go to like astrotheme.com or any of the other free birth chart calculators and generator, you can see where does Sagittarius fall in your house, and so where's the light going to shine that Mercury is going to be going over the communication aspects of that, right? Okay, so then we have Saturn and Pluto and Capricorn. So that would be your 11th house. 11th house. So that's your person, your persona, your public persona, your groups, public activities, very public house. So what changes has been happening there, and how are they reforming? So if you've been maybe changing a lot of friends lately, that wouldn't surprise me, right? Because maybe your groups are changing. So there would be something to kind of just take a look at. Mars moved into Pisces. Thank you, Pisces. Because when the Mars is in Aquarius, it's very pushy. It's like, I'm going to make changes. I'm going to make changes now. And Pisces is like, whoa, here's some love. So everybody's going to start, or they should, if they really want to work with, they're going to get in the flow. People who are pushing really hard and trying to make things happen are not going to be as effective and successful as the ones who go, okay, things are just kind of flowing now, which is really nice for the holidays. So I like it. Venus is in Libra, and that is, she's happy there. It's one of her signs, that in Taurus. And so the feminine energy right now is very nice and calm and great, because we've got, a lot of family times coming up. Then we have Neptune's in retrograde in Pisces. So that would be your house of self-esteem. It was in Aries, but it's moved back into Pisces. And again, it's going over the same ground, and then it's going to move back out into Aries, which is your second house of finances. And how do you feel about finances? But this is goals. This is the dreams that you held for yourself, like your self-esteem issues, what you really want, your really lofty goals, anything that you really wanted that you maybe didn't really fight for. Maybe this is a good time to look at it again. Can you recommit to it? Can you reconfigure it? Can you find a way to make it all work? So I'm hoping that works out for you. Take a look at that. And so let's get to this week. So this week, Mars is in a square to Jupiter on Monday. Nobody's going to like it. Just people are going to be grumpy. I don't know what to tell you. People are going to be like, I can't get where I need to go. I can't get there fast enough. I can't make things work. So pack your patience. It's going to be kind of a rough ride. It's in your second house of finances. So maybe you run into issues with banking, or people are stressy about money, or, just something to keep in mind. But this is where, using your willpower is really going to be very helpful. Your self-control, your will, and stay focused on the goals. Stay focused on the goals. So that'll be Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday, the moon moves into Taurus, which Pisces is very comfortable with that. That's a nice aspect for you. And it's about action. And it's about grounded action, right? So we get kind of like caught up in the emotion of things and the flow of things, but you still have to take concrete steps in order to make things work. And Taurus is really good for that. What are the steps you have to take? Where do take in the working toward the goal in a very stepwise manner? And so that's really good energy for that. And that'd be in your third house of communication, siblings. So anything, if you're working on a project and it requires you needing to write stuff down or whatever, or speak, this would be good energy to work with for that. And then when we get to Friday morning at 7:01 a.m., we have the full moon in Gemini. So what did you start when the moon was new back in the middle of June? Maybe you didn't know that you were setting intentions on purpose, but most people were setting intentions whether they were paying attention or not. We kind of tend to do that. So think about what you were doing, what new things did you start, and then look at where it is now. Because on Saturday is a good day to do some self-reflection. So we want to look at it. We want to say what's working, what's not working, what should we spend a little more effort and time on. And then I want you, because it's the full moon, I always recommend this. And I want you to sit down and I want you to write down a list of what you need to prune out of your life, what needs to be let go of, what kind of emotional issues are you hanging on to that you need to let go with this moon, what kind of situations are not working for you. Write them all down. You don't have to know what the way out is. You just need to write down that you want to release them. Okay, you want to release them. And because there's so much financial stuff going on here, I would highly recommend one of the things that you write is, I release myself from all vows of poverty. Anytime you say, I don't have enough money for that, then you are making a vow of poverty. So stop doing that. Start saying, I am an abundant person. I always have more than enough. That's what you should be saying. So, even if you don't have it right now, if you say that enough, it becomes the truth. You create your reality. So please write down on your list, I release myself from all vows of poverty that I have ever made, past, present, and future. So that they don't stick if you have a habit of saying that, and then flip it over, and on the backside, you're going to want to write down all the things you're grateful for, because the universe says, oh, they noticed that I'm doing these things, and so let's give them more. So that's how the gratitude list works. And then when you get done, just go ahead and burn it. Turn it over to God, spirit, universe, whatever you want to call this power, but turn it over and let it just go. And then wait for the miracles to start happening. And then on Sunday in the morning, 10:37 a.m., the moon moves into Cancer, which is very nice for Pisces. It's a very comfortable aspect. That would be in your 5th house of partnerships, usually like business kind of things, just anything that you're working, like a project or anything like that. So that's a really good time to relax into that energy and enjoy those partnerships and where they're taking you. Okay, so what I decided I would do is pull a card from 4 different decks that have to do with the energy of where the moon is when it switches signs. Okay, so the moon on Monday is in Aquarius. So what's that? So, it's not an Aquarius. I'm just honestly so sorry. It's an Aries. And Aries has got that energy if I'm just jumping off the cliff, right? So that would be in your 2nd house of finances, where we should probably rethink the jumping off the cliff. So what is some really good advice? And for that, I went to Colette Baron Reed's The Map to get some direction. And oh my gosh, what? Okay. I'm going to go with it. Okay. Have you been isolating, Pisces? Have you been isolating? Have you been avoiding looking at your bills? It's time to stop. Okay? It's time to stop. It's time to open up and take a look at things. Hiding doesn't make things go away. You have field of dreams, which is where you are being supported by the universe. So your hopes, your goals, your dreams, your wishes, they're being supported. And this is the 2nd house stuff, right? And so then you also have sacred pool, get in the flow. Pisces, we're better at that than most people. And then you become into life. So get in the flow. Stop hiding. Address the issues. Know that you're supported. Go ahead and make the effort. Take a look at your bills. If you haven't pulled them out and taken a look at your budget to see where you need to, be fixing things, then now is a really good time. With all this other planetary action going on in general, it's a really good idea for you. All right. So, Taurus. Goes into Taurus in your 3rd house of communication on Wednesday. What kind of practical advice can we get from Doreen Virtue's Angels of Abundance? What did I just tell you? Take a look at your budget. It says to clear your debts. What do you need to do to clear your debts? Do you need to spend less? Consolidate? Look at your phone bill. Maybe you can save money by going with a new plan, and then you could take that money and you can apply it to paying down a credit card. This is something that right now, I'm telling you, when Uranus gets into Taurus over the course of the next 7 years, this is going to be an issue for everybody. So get a jump start on it. Start paying down your debts, clearing your debts. You can't do it if you don't look at it. So, full moon in Gemini is in your 4th house of home. That's a tense day, so watch out for that. people talking, saying things that are not nice. So just have an awareness that it's a tense day. You could probably sidestep a lot of issues if you go, ooh, that's right. Maggie said it's going to be a tough day. I'm going to step back from that energy and just let that flow over me. I'm going to stay in the flow. I'm not going to let that get me. All right. Yeah, that's a rough one. Okay. And then Cancer on Sunday. Cancer on Sunday in your house of partnerships, projects, fun, things you like to do. It's supposed to be a fun day. The moon's at an aspect where it's supposed to be pleasurable, and it's in Cancer. So for you, that should all work really well. Let's just see what we get for a card for you. Well, that's a book. We're not taking that. We already did that once. We're going to shuffle a little bit more. I don't like it when I get like 6 cards at once. It's not a good thing. Okay. I just want 1, maybe 2. 1, maybe 2. Okay. And here you have patience. So the advice from Friday carries all the way through the weekend. It's going to be a little tense in communication just because of where the planets are lining up for you, these projects and everything. And things are, Mercury slows everything down. Things might not be going super fast. Just have patience with it. Have patience with yourself. Have patience with other people. This whole week's going to be kind of a bumpy ride, so pack your patience for the whole week. I think it's just really good advice for Pisces. Let me get you a color card before we close this thing out. Please comment below if you'd like to ask me a question that you would like a personal reading on. Come on Friday. Friday, it's live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to answer all the written questions first before I answer the questions in the chat. So check out your moon, rising, sun sign right now, but write in the comment section below of any of these videos. Go ahead and write me the questions that you would like answered, and I will pull those and do those first on Friday. Let's get you a card for the week. Ooh, nice. Cherry, that's so nice. It says, live an extraordinary life. Why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary, right? So pack your patience this week, and remember, you have a lot of really good things coming, but you need to look. You need to look at your budget. Definitely need to do that this week. Take the time. Get things in order. I mean, Christmas is coming. Try not to overspend, or whatever holidays you celebrate. All right. So be sure to like, share. I like to share in private message to my friends on Facebook. They get a lot of videos from me. Subscribe and hit the notification button so that when I go live, you'll know and you can join me, and that would be great. And then we could chat. I would love to see you on Friday. You take care. Have a good week, and pack your patience. You're going to need it.